These are not the end credits of a movie. These are the names of 196 House Republicans that voted to reprimand Newt Gingrich when he was Speaker.
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
If Romney would mislead us on all this, can we trust him on anything else?
I'm Newt Gingrich, and I approve this message.
If you live in Florida, you cannot turn on the television without seeing a political ad. Lucas Baiano created several commercials for the Perry campaign and has been called the Magic Maker. Lucas joins us now from Washington to discuss how to make an ad that stands out. Lucas, thanks for joining the program.
Alex, thanks for having me.
You have a very interesting background, Lucas, and I'd like to touch a little bit on that. I know you got your start working for the Hillary Clinton campaign in 2008.
Yes.
Apparently when you approached Bill Clinton at a bookstore, and then you volunteered for McCain, and then worked for Tim Pawlenty, and then on to Rick Perry. Talk to us a little bit about your sort of political education and how you managed to cross the spectrum so quickly.
It's a journey, and in today's day and age, and in the YouTube generation that we live in, anyone can become an entrepreneur and decide what environment they want to get into. I studied film and psychology in college, had the opportunity. My mother is American-born and was a Democrat, and it was fitting for me to get involved with the Clinton campaign at the time when the YouTube cycle was just ramping up in a sense, and people weren't really utilizing the political agenda to tap into that YouTube generation. And from there, I thought this could be an opportunity to get involved, and I felt that I could potentially get some traction online and whatnot. And well, in today's day and age, it's a great day.
And traction you seem to have gotten. Let's play one of your ads for the Perry campaign from this campaign cycle.
This election's about our children. It's about our grandchildren. And they're waiting. They're waiting for us to answer if we're going to participate, if we're going to call. This is your country, and your country's calling.
The level of the sort of cinematic quality in these ads today, I think, is not shocking but surprising given how bad political advertising has been in the past. I would probably say the 2008 campaign was sort of the line in the sand there where you really saw everyone up the ante. If we talk about your candidate or former candidate in specific, Rick Perry sort of changed courses towards the end there, it looks like. And I think a lot of us remember specifically the ads where he's in the barn jacket talking about gay serving in the military, and it's a much more distinctly pro-Christian message. Were you involved in those ads, and can you sort of walk us through a little bit of the change in advertising message?
I wasn't currently involved in that particular ad, Alex, but I was involved in the first ad that we launched nationally. That was the first ad to receive over 2 million plus hits on YouTube, and at the time more hits than all of Romney's ads combined. And in today's day and age, you know, people are angry, and people want something that can reflect their anger in a sense. And I've taken the theatrical approach in leveling that playing field where everyone always had thought that the Democrats on the left had the upper hand in terms of technology and whatnot. And I wanted to try and use my skill in visual and media traits and try and bring up the ante, as you will.
I want to open this up to the panel a little bit as we talk about advertising and messaging. There was some controversy earlier, I guess it was last year, when the Romney campaign took a quote from the president, the White House said, out of context. And the value that is placed on messaging, we look at the outsized role of the debates in this campaign. Certainly, political advertising has a large role to play. And it is a very slippery slope if we talk about context and what exactly is fair use. I wonder, as we move forward, are we bearish or bullish about how much sort of quotes may be taken in and out of context and how much blowback or pushback there may be for truth and transparency in terms of usage?
Well, I don't know about y'all, but what I see when I just hit mute, don't take it the wrong way, Lucas. But this does not. Listen, I don't think that was the first time that anyone's ever been taken out of context. Democrats do it, Republicans do it, and I don't think that they're going to stop doing it. But the transparency, what I think matters more is who's paying for the ads, where's the money coming from, and at the end of the day, who's being scapegoated. I know you didn't work on that Brokeback Mountain thing, but I got to tell you, as a gay man, I'd be pretty ticked off if one of my friends was profiting off of something like that. And so, you know, they all do it. But I hit mute. Every single time a political ad comes on TV, I hit mute.
You know, you hit mute, and I think most of us do. But what's so interesting, I know in having studied ads, is that it's the emotion that goes into it. Every color that you choose, how you frame things up. So it's the message. You know, when these people like Lucas are working on the ads, they have you in mind that you're going to mute it. So they want to see how they counterpose the candidate with positive feelings or perhaps even negative feelings of the counter candidate.
I say two things about ads.
Yes, you
First
may.
of all, the Romney campaign has already figured out, and I know they know in Chicago too, that the press, unfortunately, is so weak right now at certain things that they can put up a controversial ad, and they know full well that they will not only get the ad directly to voters, but they'll get tons of controversy about the message they want to get. Everyone in our business needs to vow to do better on that. If an ad is false or wrong or misleading, we need to do better of saying that rather than just giving them what they want. The other thing is, I think ads in presidential races don't matter nearly as much as they do in other races. What matters is the candidate and his surrogates driving a message that dovetails with that. Romney's positive ads for himself and his negative ads against Gingrich have been masterfully reinforced by Romney out on the stump driving news coverage. Gingrich has been a disaster on that. He's not driving any message consistent between his paid advertising and what he's saying on the stump, and that is why Romney's paid advertising has been so great for him, not because of the dollar amount, but because they've reinforced it successfully on the stump.
The other person that has kind of amazing ads, if we're just looking at production quality and message being sort of echoed by the candidate,
Dr. Paul.
Is Dr. Paul. Can we play a little Dr. Paul ad, please?
What's up with these sorry politicians? Lots of bark. When it's showtime, whimpering like little shih tzus. You want big cuts. Ron Paul's been screaming it for years.
I think you get a free truck if you vote for Ron Paul. Lucas, those ads, I mean, again, let's talk just basic sort of production value. I believe I was once featured in a Rick Perry ad talking about the youth unemployment rate, which was taken wildly out of context. But in terms of producing these things, to walk us through it a little bit, this is something that you do. Are Republican candidates just tuned to MSNBC waiting for usable nuggets, or how does it work?
No, I mean, it's all about articulating the message and seeing what is out there and how we can utilize what we have given to us. And in today's day and age, the reason why the polls are so fluid and up and down, partly because the voters have so much accessibility in today's day and age for the first time in any election, where they can go on YouTube, they can go on the websites, they can watch feature films that Gingrich had put out, or we had put out short films on Governor Perry's campaign and whatnot. So the accessibility is a prime factor, and utilizing instant messaging to connect with the voters will really resonate.
It's worth noting that top video views, Newt Gingrich is leading the pack. Second, Barack Obama. Third, Mitt Romney. Fourth, Ron Paul. I will say, in terms of pure visual enjoyment, my vote would be with Ron Paul and his incredible stop-motion graphics. Thank you to Lucas Baiano. We look forward to your next act.